Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes has revealed he has been forced to change his penalty technique to stay one step ahead of goalkeepers. Manchester United skipper Fernandes is the club's all-time leading scorer from the penalty spot, with 36 to his name, 8 clear of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Fernandes has only missed 4 of the 40 penalties he has taken for United since joining from Sporting Lisbon in 2020 for an initial fee of £47 million. The 30-year-old has scored all 5 of the spot kicks he has taken for United this season, but revealed he has had to change his routine and technique to keep outsmarting the keepers he faces. "When you take so many penalties, you need to change," said Fernandes. "Also because the goalkeepers start looking at you, study you and everything. So, as they do that, I do the same as them. I study them, I know what they do, what kind of movements they do for all the different penalty takers they are against. I see what their accuracy is against each other, then I get my chance. But all of these things always depend on the moment in the game. I feel more comfortable doing the jump and waiting for the goalkeeper to make a decision. I think it's the more accurate one. But if I have to change it, because I think, by doing that, I'm giving them something extra to save it, I will do it differently, to try to not give anything away to them. You can still miss, but at least you know everything you're doing is for a reason. Obviously, everyone is different, and many of the penalty takers have a certain side. They go there, they choose the side before, they go powerful, and they still score. I don't know. It was something I learned from Fabio Quagliarella at the time I was at Sampdoria. He was always checking with the goalkeepers in terms of what he should do, about the way he kicked and everything. He had a quick run-up and a very powerful shot, but he was always trying to understand the movements of the goalkeeper, and I got that from him. I always want to learn from the best ones. Fernandes revealed he swaps penalty-taking tips with former United teammate and Portugal colleague Cristiano Ronaldo whenever they meet up for international duty. "When we go away with the national team, I'm always having chats with Cristiano to understand the way he does it, and we do speak a lot," said Fernandes. "He sometimes asks me what I think about the goalkeeper and everything, even Cristiano. If you see now compared to the past, if I see Cristiano's penalty against Chelsea in the final of the Champions League in 2008, and the ones he has taken after that, he's changed his way of kicking. Now he's changing again, so you always have to adapt yourself to the game. Because things change quickly. People get to know you better and better, so sometimes you need to do something different. If you ask anyone in the world who you would choose to take your penalty after 90 minutes to save your life or whatever, most people will say Cristiano, because they know in that kind of moment he's decisive and it works. If Cristiano is one of the best penalty takers in the world and he's changing, why shouldn't I do the same? Why shouldn't I improve myself and try to do different things?" Manchester United have reportedly begun initial talks with Napoli over the potential sale of Rasmus Højlund in the summer transfer window. Højlund has struggled with the expectation thrust upon him after he joined United in a £72 million transfer from Atalanta in August 2023 and could leave at the next opportunity. The 22-year-old striker had gone 21 games without scoring before finding the back of the net in the comfortable 3-0 win over Leicester on Sunday. He has 24 goals in 82 goals altogether for the club, but was called out by United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe as being indicative of the kind of overspending he wants to eradicate. "If you look at the players we are buying, that we didn't buy, we're buying Antony, we're buying Casemiro, we're buying Andre Onana, we're buying Højlund, we're buying Jadon Sancho," Ratcliffe told BBC Sport recently. "These are all things from the past. Whether we like it or not, we've inherited those things and have to sort that out." It seems United could be tempted to sort out Højlund this summer, with La Gazzetta dello Sport reporting that Napoli have made contact over the Danish international. United have reportedly set an asking price of €60 million, $50 million for the striker, who is under contract until June 2028. Napoli are keen to bring in reinforcements up front, with Kavica Kvaratskhelia having left for Paris Saint-Germain and Victor Osimhen out on loan at Galatasaray and extremely likely to be sold in the summer. Højlund has been identified as a possibility alongside Udinese striker Lorenzo Luca, who would represent a cheaper alternative at around 35 to 40 million euros, 29 to 33.5 million pounds. It is reported that Napoli would not be willing to reach United's £50 million price tag for Højlund, but are willing to continue talks over the coming months in an attempt to find a compromise. Ineos looks set to implement an overhaul in the summer, but it remains to be seen whether Højlund will be a part of the expected exodus. Speaking this week while on international duty, Højlund expressed some frustration at the direction of travel at United, but said he was determined to ride it out. "I'm focused on the task with Ruben Amorim, because that project is incredibly exciting. But Erik Ten Hag was of course one of the reasons why I moved to Manchester United," he told the press. "He was doing something good and was a talented coach, but it didn't work out. And that's how it is. I'm still very happy to be at Manchester United. It's the club I've always dreamed of playing for. And I'm really happy for Ruben. He's a cool character and a cool person." Giovanni Quender's desire to play as a winger rather than a wing-back was one of the factors in his decision to join Chelsea. Sporting Lisbon have now confirmed that Quender, 17, has agreed a shock switch to Stamford Bridge, though he will remain in Portugal with Sporting for the 2025-26 campaign before making the jump to the Premier League. Quender will be joined at Chelsea by 20-year-old defensive midfielder Dario Isugo, who will link up with Enzo Maresca's side in the summer. The deal for both players is believed to be worth around £62 million. After breaking into Sporting's first team as a teenager under Ruben Amorim, it was no secret that the Portuguese coach was interested in working with Quender again at Manchester United. However, Quender favoured a move to Chelsea over United as he wants to play on the wing, rather than as a wing-back. Amorim's preferred 3-4-2-1 formation deploys wing-backs rather than wide forwards, and its merits have already been debated since his appointment back in November. Quender will instead compete with a host of established wide men for a spot in Chelsea's team after completing one final season as a Sporting player. Unfortunately for Manchester United and Amorim, Chelsea's capture of Quender could leave them with another headache as the Blues weigh up whether to renege on their agreement to sign Jadon Sancho permanently. The former Borussia Dortmund star was frozen out at United before joining Chelsea on loan in the summer in a deal which included a £25 million purchase obligation. It has since emerged that Chelsea do have the option to pay a penalty fee instead of signing Sancho on a permanent basis. And they are now said to be considering whether or not to take that financial hit, given Quender's arrival in 2026 will leave them with an embarrassment of options to play on both flanks. Sancho, 24, made a bright start to life at Chelsea, but has only registered 2 goals and 1 assist since the end of September. He has made 23 appearances in the Premier League for the Blues, starting 16 games in total. Manchester United will leave it up to Ruben Amorim to decide Jadon Sancho's future should he return to Old Trafford, according to reports. Sancho is facing an uncertain future after failing to impress on loan at Chelsea after some poor displays for the Blues. The England international is struggling to find his feet at Stamford Bridge and came under fire for his anonymous display in their 1-0 loss to Arsenal on Sunday, and plans for him to join the club permanently now look unlikely. Chelsea have an obligation to sign Sancho for £25 million if the Blues finish higher than 14th in the Premier League, which looks nearly impossible with the team currently 4th in the table. But reports have claimed Chelsea will be able to pay a large fee to release themselves from that obligation and send Sancho back to United. Should that happen, Amorim will have the power to decide on whether he remains in the squad or is sold, as reported by ESPN. Amorim is said to be weighing up a huge overhaul of his struggling squad this summer, with as many as 8 players set to depart, and Sancho is thought to be on that list. The former Borussia Dortmund star initially impressed in his first few weeks at Chelsea after he assisted 3 goals in each of his first 3 Premier League games for the club. But his form has plummeted in recent months after going 13 games without a goal involvement under Enzo Maresca, with some fans furious and demanding Chelsea send him back to United. Former Chelsea star William Gallas recently slammed Sancho's performances and said there was no chance he could stay at the Bridge beyond this season. He's a talented player, everybody knows this, but we don't know why he can't perform and can't show what he can do, the former centre-back told Stadium Astro. At Dortmund, he was magnificent. At Manchester United, it didn't work well for him. He came to Chelsea, and at the beginning we saw that Sancho from Dortmund, but then he disappeared. I don't know what the problem is, but at the moment he can't stay at Chelsea because he has to do more. When you play in the Premier League, you have to play every game at the highest level. It's not easy, but you can't just play well for a few games and then chill out.